Hey, welcome back to the TuVues podcast where we talk about relationships, mental health, society, and more. Just glad to have y'all with us again at this podcast. I'm Keith Davis. I'm joined with my brother Kevin Davis, and we're gonna give you viewpoints from two different views.
Two different views, man. Nothing off, no topic off untouchable. You're gonna get good things from both of us, different things from both of us, same thing from both of us, but they're all gonna be all in positive light and trying to bring a topic to the forefront of everybody's thoughts and minds, and you know bring peace and love to the area.
Yes, sir. So how you feeling, man? How you been? How you week been? How you been feeling about that last pod since that last podcast?
Man, that was a good first start. I can see it growing from here, getting bigger and better. The more topics, the more personal we get. I mean, the better it's gonna be, right? So, loved it, man. Loved it. About you?
Yeah, but how are you? How are you feeling? How life treating you?
Man, life fine. I'm blessed, man. Blessed and highly favored. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, man. I
No,
feel, I feel you. I feel you on the first podcast, man. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed being able to give back to people, man, and just to share our knowledge on things. And our knowledge ain't perfect, it ain't flawless. It's just a viewpoint that we just want to touch bases, man. Life is life right now, man. You know, work going well. The kids getting a little restless at the school building. You know, it's almost Thanksgiving break. You know how that is when we was in school, ready to go on break. So but life is good,
yeah,
man. God is good, man. I'm blessed. I'm just along for the ride, man.
yeah, man. It's good to start off with fatherhood, man. But I don't know when people gonna be listening to this, but I gotta say this. November is National is Diabetes Awareness Month, so I gotta make sure to
Right.
bring that up.
Yeah.
Both of us are diabetic. Our dad's diabetic.
Yeah.
But so this is a real topic, especially in our
Mom's
community.
diabetic.
Uh, it's really important for us to get this message out here to take care of yourself, man. Get tested. Go to your doctor. Get your A1C check. Keep your blood
Yeah.
sugar in check. Eat right. Work out. Diabetes is something that takes a lot of people out of here. So we want to just recognize diabetes and make people aware that a lot of people deal with this battle.
Yeah, and it's manageable, man. We just got to put in the work, man. Cut down on carbs. You know, it's a definitely a manageable disease. But we know around this time of year, when it comes to Thanksgiving, ain't nothing but carbs on our plates. But we just, we're not telling you not to eat any carbs. Just make sure you watch your carb intake and your sugar. Make sure you get tested. You do all the necessary things to look at, see where your A1C levels are, and just be healthy, man. We want to be around for the long run for our kids.
Yeah, man, I always thought it was interesting that Diabetes Awareness Month was in November, like when Thanksgiving and holidays right around the corner. You know what I mean, one of the toughest time, to try to
Man,
fight that urge. But yeah, be aware.
just a sense of humor, man. This is that time of year though where we get hit hard, man. We go straight from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Man. Ain't nothing but carbs in the next 2 months, man. If you think about the next 3 months, cause then you got New Year's, man. People gonna be it's a
Valentine's
lot of
Day, people taking the
yeah,
dates out, like
a lot of carbs and beer too. So,
man,
we just got to be careful, y'all. This is a disease that is ravaging not only our community but our country, and we just want to bring awareness to it.
absolutely. Hey man, here we go, man. Let's start with some real quick, some hot topics, real quick. We're gonna start with something a little light and fun, real quick. We're gonna do, man. I got a topic for you, man. Two topics. This is actually a two-parter, right? So I want you to give me your top five rap artists of all time, and then I want you to give me your top five lyricists of all time. It could be the same top five as your top five rappers, but I want to
Ooh,
hear
all
both
right.
things because it can vary. You know what I mean? It matters.
Man, we may get roasted for this, man, because some people gonna think. I think right now, I'm thinking about right now. Mr. Steele, Dion Steele, was my our first. I guarantee none of the people we name are gonna be on his top five. He gonna think we crazy. I can feel it coming if you watch the podcast, man.
Prob-
But you
Probably
know
old
me, I'm a
school.
yeah. He gonna go old school. I'm always gonna go. My top is always gonna be Pac. All right, I'm a Pac fan till the day I die, till I rest. That's always gonna be my number one. But I got a number 1A that's gonna be kind of controversial. I mean, a 1B that's gonna be kind of controversial for a lot of people. My 1B is Eminem. Man, people might think I'm crazy. People might think I'm crazy about that, but I'm gonna go with M for his lyrical style, his wordplay. So I'm gonna go Pac M. Um, you can't get away without throwing Biggie up there. I'm gonna throw Biggie up there. Hmm. Cause my fifth one, I'm gonna say my fifth one, cause y'all gonna think I'm crazy by my fifth one. So fourth, I'm gonna have to go with um, shoot.
Oh man,
I
don't be
I go
scared, man. Throw it out.
I'll go with I'll go with Lil Wayne. I go with Lil Wayne at four. Nah, nah. I'm gonna go. No, let me check. Let me start from the top. I'm gonna go Pac.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go Pac M, Biggie, Most Def, and my fifth because, and I'm only this is my fifth because I don't think they get enough credit, man. I'm gonna go with the Brat,
So the Brads
and
are
those are my
top.
lyrics.
No, remember
I'm gonna tell you,
top
huh?
five rappers. Was that your lyricist or your top five of all time? Cause see, that could be
That's
the
my.
same. Mine gonna vary. Yours can be the same list. Mine gonna change.
But I'm a little biased in that fifth, and the reason why, because I hate when we do top five, without introducing the women. Right, we got
Yeah,
some bad women lyricists that I don't think get a lot of credit for
but
what they bring to me. But
what
man,
list are you
five.
putting Brad on though?
I'm gonna
Is
go
he
with
on the top
lyricists for
five?
Brad.
So
But
did,
so let's say that list right
did
there
you
was
just
my
give your
was
lyricist?
man. Let's start over, man. You got
Man, come on, man. Like, come on.
hold on,
It could
man.
be the same. It could be the same list, man. It could be the
This
same
is
list.
hard for me though. Let me let all right. Let's take a break, man. Let me pause and think about who my five are. But I didn't really think about it. Uh,
So you want me to go first?
yeah, you go first, man.
I go first, man. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna start my top five rappers of all time. All right, you said you had that Pocket M thing. I'm flipping those. I think M is the best rapper of all time. That's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
controversial. I don't care. I think M the best rapper of all time. Then it's Pac. Then it's Big. Then it's Nas. Right,
Hey, I
and
didn't think
then
about
this one,
Nas.
and man, we got the old school cats, man, that people forget about, Raekwon and KRS and all them, man. But I'm gonna tell you somebody who people sleep on, man, and he gonna be my
Who's that?
five. He gonna be over J. It's a METHOD, man.
Man, yeah,
Method
I can see that.
Man is in my
I can
top
see.
five.
Yeah, I can see meth in there. You got that's a good top five, man. But you like I said, you know, Big Steel gonna crucify that list, man.
Oh,
I
that's fine.
already, I
Hey, but
already know.
finna hit you with my top. I'm finna hit you my top
All right.
lyricists of all, my top five lyricists of all time, and it's gonna be crazy.
Mm,
M is back at the top of that too. Don't trip.
mm,
M lyrically is hot. Then we
yeah,
have Wayne lyrically, cold, right? So
yeah,
we got Wayne, we got M, Wayne. Then we gonna roll with J Cole. We
yeah.
gonna roll with J Cole. And I'm finna throw two people here at these bottom two that people gonna get me on, and I don't care. Jordan Lucas is a bad man.
Okay.
Jordan Lucas is a bad man. He gonna be my foe. And my five is really finna flip people because guess what? He not even no mainstream rapper. Charlie Clips. Lyrically,
Clips, hey,
can't
Clips the
nobody touch
dude,
Charlie Clips.
man.
Charlie Clips. That's my five. M,
Yeah, Charlie
Wayne,
dope, man.
Cole, Joyner, Charlie.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to throw a battle rapper in there though, man. You
Yeah,
know,
I
Clips
knew
the
you
dude though.
I knew
I
you weren't
think
gonna.
if people want to be real about it, to me this ain't controversial. People don't consider it controversial. He the best battle rapper of all time. He the goat.
I agree. I agree.
He
That's
the
why he's in
goat,
my top
and
five.
yeah, he the goat. I wouldn't put him he dope in the battle rap scene. He the goat to me in the battle rap scene, but he ain't in my top five lyricists,
So
man.
hit me with yours though. Hit me with yours
So
though.
I'm gonna go with my top five rappers. Like I said, 1A, 1B gonna be M and Pac. Those are my top rappers. Then you got Big. Um, I'm a I'm a just my guy, man, because this is just personal preference, and so I gotta go with I gotta go with I just said him earlier. Um,
Um,
just said him earlier.
Most Def.
Most Def. I gotta go with Most Def.
Most Def
Um,
hot, man. He dope.
yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go with my man's Most Def. And then I gotta go when you just talking about just rap flow and skills, just all around rappers. I put Wayne up there, man. Wayne is my five, man. Wayne's my fifth. When you go lyricist, I'm with you. When you talking about being able word play and word flipping and just in flow, I'm going with M. And that's gonna be controversial. I'm gonna go with M, then I'm gonna go with Wayne, because you know those two lyrical geniuses. When it comes to word flip, um, and then I'm gonna go. So let's go M Wayne, um, buddy from the East Coast, Kendrick,
West Coast.
right? West, yeah, I'm sorry, West Coast. I'm gonna go with Kendrick.
I
Um,
was gonna put Kendrick on there.
I'll go with Cole. I go J. Cole. So Kendrick, J. Cole. But I'm gonna put this one on here, and I know this gonna be content. Y'all gonna think I'm tweaking. But if you go back and listen to this person lyrically and word flow, you'll be sleep.
I think
It's amazing to me that they don't get credit for being one of the top women rappers of all time, if not the best. And I'm putting the brat. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why we've sexualized women rappers, right? And I put Brat as the female Pac and Missy as a female Big, right? Because Missy got that flow. Like Big had that flow that brought you into their music. If you see the way Brat word flip, the way she word flip and the way she string together her lyrics, man, Brat a bad woman, man. I think bar for bar, I don't know of another woman rapper that can go bar for bar with Brat. That's just my
yeah.
opinion.
I get you trying to put the women in there, man. But I love Brett. I agree. She the dope. To me, she's the dopest woman rapper of all time. First woman rapper to sell a million, right?
Yep.
But she ain't top five of rappers of all time.
Man, I ain't
I
say all
love
the
her.
time. It's
She
my
ain't top five.
lyricist. It's my
All
lyricist, man.
lyricists, but
It's my
she not top
lyricist.
five lyricists of all time either.
I know. You know me. I'm trying to get our women up there, man. But I think for so long, man, Brad ain't been getting no roses, man, and it just bothers me when people won't get their roses, right? And it's
Yeah,
just why M ain't ever gonna get full credit for being the best rapper alive and the best lyricist out. And we know we got kind of an idea why, right? But man, the dude word flip is a word flip genius, man. He a
yeah.
genius, man.
Hey, he's solid, man. Solid, man. But
But I like your clips pick. I like your man.
yeah,
I think you have some battle rappers. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I think another battle rapper that don't get a lot of credit for his way the ability to string. He up there in the top tier, but he don't get enough credit for the way he string together his words. Is Sue Surf? I think Sue
yeah,
Surf's underrated, right? But Clips the goat, man. Clips the goat. Period.
yeah,
Clips and
yeah.
DNA.
Yeah, but if I could add two more to my my lyricist list, man, we're gonna move on from this. But like, if you're gonna put M, you gotta put Royce, right? You gotta put Royce.
Yeah,
Royce,
yeah, Roy. Yeah, Roy's
but
dope.
the one person you might not know too much of, but I listen to all the time. That I'm mad I didn't put him in my list. Toby Nwigwe.
Oh yeah, he dope too though.
Toby Nwigwe is dope. We gonna talk
But
about
you know
lyrically
what?
putting stuff together. Dope.
But let's be clear about something, man. We old, right? All
I
right,
know.
so we old. We in our 30s still, but I bet young kids gonna look at this post like, man, these dudes tripping, right? But like it's kind of like the Jordan and LeBron debate, Kobe debate, man. We lived in eras, like your boy Nas.
True.
I throw Brad up there and all that stuff, man. But real Nostradamus, man. Come on, Nas was the dude, man. The best diss
Hey,
song of all time, Ether. Come on, man. You ain't.
E
I mean, I'm
Fiji.
sorry, second best diss song of all time.
But E Fiji, I dare any young cat to send me a 16 of any one of their rappers that they think had a hot 16, they best 16 against any of my top five lyricists, 16, and it's
Hmm.
gonna smoke them every time. Now,
Oh,
one
I
rapper
agree.
nowadays can eat one of
I agree.
my top five lyricists for 16.
I
They
agree.
can't.
I agree. I think bar for bar. I just think it's just a new school of rap, but I think when you talking about just lyrics and just string together, you man, I'm crushed at anybody can bring that's out currently. He gonna crush
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah. Let's move on from this one, man. I know there's gonna be some controversy on that, but um, we're just gonna try to get this out by this Tuesday, November 7th. It's election day. Election day for most local elections and a lot of Senate seats, Congress, and all that. So, I want to get this out with this little quick topic, man. Like, we don't spend too much time because we really want to get to our main topic, but I made a post today on Facebook, and I was watching TV, man. I just see all these political ads and Democrats, Republicans, Independents, and it seemed like every ad is trying to get us to vote for them based on hatred and fear, and it's just mind boggling, and it's just kind of frustrating that instead of standing on your own truths and what you believe, you're trying to use fear tactics to get votes.
hmm
And we're not talking Democrat and Republican. We're talking about all of them. Democrats, Republican, and everybody politically is using hatred and fear to get votes. And man, that's scary and it's wrong, man. So when you go out there and vote
hmm
on these polls tomorrow, man, vote for the people who have your best interests at heart. Vote for what you believe, whether that's on the Democratic side or the Republican side, independent. Vote for what you believe, not through these hate tactics. Everybody trying to post it on these ads and these mailings and these
hmm
debates, man. Like, I get
stoking
the debates
fear.
is one thing. Yeah, the debates is one thing because you want them to debate and figure out how they gonna do certain situations. But when it turns into hate and fear, it's wrong, man. We not supposed to live that way.
Yeah, and so just I can't wait till one day we get to the political aspect of our podcast so we can talk politics because what we're saying and what we're gonna say in this short time ain't got nothing to do with party lines. This is about you having your own voice and using that voice, right? And
Yep.
I want y'all to understand that certain platforms that our Republicans and Democrats have created the basis for their parties. There's only a couple things that separate them. That's abortion, gun rights, um, abortion, gun rights, and what's the third one? Gun abortion, gun rights. I'm missing the third one. I'm a history teacher. I'm missing the third one, but it's a separate. So I don't. I want you to go out and I want you to go out and vote based on what you believe as an American citizen, right? Because it's okay to believe in gun control and be against abortion. It's okay to be against gun control and pro-choice, right? I think so often we get caught in between our party lines that we stop thinking for ourselves and we think we have to take the totality of a party system, right? Instead of picking a candidate that best closely suits the values that we believe. And I think that's the
Yeah.
concern I have as we go to the polls and we, like you said, they're stoking fear, you know, fear about the Trumpism returning back to the White House, and fear about the Democrats taking over the Senate. No, look, know your candidates, know how to vote, know how to register, know where to go, know what to bring to the polling place, and vote for the person that has the most of your best interests at heart. I don't care what party they are.
Because I tell
Start
you right now,
Let's start talking for ourselves. Let's start speaking for ourselves and making decisions for ourselves and not being stoked by fear.
I'm big on full disclosure. And I tell you straight up, I vote across party lines. I
Mm-hmm.
hear what people say, and I might do mostly Democrats or here and a few Republicans or vice versa. But I listen to what you say.
Mm-hmm.
I listen, and that's how I make my decision. Maybe one year I might vote all Democrat. Maybe one year I might vote all Republican. But I listen to what people say, and I feel like people should do the same thing. Don't let the fear drive you. Don't let we're going to a civil war. Vote for what you believe, and don't have hate or fear because you voted the way you voted.
And think about your political ads that you're watching right now are literally um, speaking on extremes, right? They're, oh, the borders are going to come over. We're going to get overcrowded, or we're going to be letting in rapists. It's like it's all stoking fear from an extreme, not from a true place of concern. It's like if we don't do this, this is going to happen, and that's why I need your vote. Well, the truth of the matter is, but if you go to the other side, if we don't do this, the Republicans are going to stop this certain stuff. If we don't research and know the candidates, whether they're Democrat, Independent, Republican, Green Party, and know what they believes in and what they've voted for before and have stood on before. So that's critical, right? What is historically what's their historical vote, right? What's historically have they championed? If we don't know those things, we're voting based on fear of reprisal of certain person or group of people getting in office, and that's not why our founding countries created this two party system.
Yeah, man. So vote tomorrow or vote on the 7th. And just vote with your heart, man. Well, we're not gonna spend too much time on that, but yeah, I just feel like we need to get that out before voting starts.
Yeah, and on a less serious note, before we get into the seriousness of our topic today, I just want to say, go blue, undefeated. No way we shouldn't be number two in the nation.
Nobody
When the
cares.
polls come out tomorrow, I want to say for the first time ever in my life, thank you Notre Dame for knocking out Clemson and everybody, so
Hey,
everybody will get
hey,
off the
hey,
Clemson train and put Michigan where they're supposed to be. Still hate Notre Dame like with a passion, but y'all finally did something right with y'all season and put Michigan where it needed to be.
hey! I want you to be correct when you say that. We dog walk Clemson.
Yeah,
Dog walk Clemson. So get it right. Y'all gonna
y'all
lose
still
anyway,
y'all
bro. Y'all
y'all
gonna lose
y'all
Ohio
still not
State, and y'all gonna fall out the top four. It
still
happens.
not making a New Year's Six bowl. so
Hey, I know that. You ain't gonna tell me that.
so
I know that.
just want to say congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines. Go blue.
Hey, next topic, bro. I don't care
All
about
right,
that.
man.
Go ahead, man.
All right, so today is a very important topic to us that hits home, and it's going to hit home in a lot of the lives of the people who listen to this podcast, because today we just want to our topic is mental health. All right, mental health not only in our communities, but mental health as an issue or epidemic in our entire nation, in our entire world. So we want to bring light to this subject, because the truth of the matter is that in certain communities and certain societies, certain groups, um, it mental health isn't a priority or a situation of concern, though it truly affects the lives of everyone who comes in contact with it, and those who are just a part of the lives of people who are dealing with these situations. So we just want to bring light to that today.
Yeah, man. A lot of things tie on us on mental illness, right? Suicide,
Hmm.
people being harmed, people making bad decisions, right? So there's a lot of things that tie to it. Man, check out this stat though, man. Of all the adults in America, about 20% of adults battle mental illness, right? But check out this though. That stat is only the 20 is the 20% that have reported and seek treatment.
Hmm.
That's the only way they can get that stat is if you seek treatment. I promise you, I can promise you that percentage is probably around 50 to 60%.
I would agree.
Again, a lot of people do not report it, and we are some of those people. I'm telling you right now. I will talk about me later. But
Hmm.
when I was younger, it started at a young age, and even into my adult life, I never told people I had a problem with mental illness.
Hmm.
And people think when you hear mental illness, it's like, oh no, taboo mental illness. That means something wrong with you. You gotta nope. Mental illness comes in different facets, different forms, right? And we're gonna talk about one, the hidden one. Let's talk about the ones we hide, the ones where people
Yeah.
can't see on the surface, right? That's
And
what we
so
want to talk
yeah,
about.
and we're gonna be real transparent about us and our issues with dealing with that as well. And you said something very important. And you said that from a child from childhood, you um, didn't tell people that you was dealing with a mental illness. But I would also say you probably didn't know that it was a mental illness, right?
Absolutely.
Because it took me forever to understand that what I was dealing with was a mental illness. So, but because you said childhood, I just want to give you another interesting stat. So there was a study called the Adverse Childhood Experience, called the ACE study, right? And where it said there's things that we've gone through in our life that are traumatic and that cause trauma, that we never deal with. And when you have these pieces or these things that happen in your lives, you're more likely to have a mental issue, a behavioral issue, a physical issue with, let's say, diabetes or something like, some type of physical or health ailment. You more likely to have um, something serious mentally, behaviorally, or physically if you had a adverse childhood experience. Right? Here's the stats: 1/3 of everyone, so 1/3 of people have had at least one adverse childhood experience. 1/3. 21% of individuals have had up to four. Do you know, of that 21%, if you break that down, 65% of that 21% are African American. 65% of African Americans and that percentage of 21 have had at least four. So, Kevin, I'm going to get a little personal. And so I actually took this test, right? I've taken this test several times because we use this in education to say, our kids are coming into our building with trauma and with issues that we need to address. They're not coming in with only learning on their brain. Some of them are coming in hungry. Some of them are coming in with child abuse. And so we use this to say, how are we going to direct our school? So we took this, and me, Dr. Davis, one half of the TruVues podcast. You want to know what my A score was?
What
A five. A five. I am
what's the level
at
though?
my level.
What's the levels?
So you can get, I forgot what the maximum you give, but anything over four is like, it's able to overcome. Like, ta-da, I'm here, so I've overcome it. But it's very difficult to
Yeah.
overcome it when you come from when you've had over four uh, um, adverse childhood experiences, and it causes the mental issues, the learning disabilities, the behavioral disabilities, the physical ailments, right? Because that stress in your life becomes a physical weight or a physical barrier in your life that creates the sickness and things like that. So this is very serious, because if 1 in 4 between the ages of 0 and 18, right? No, I'm sorry. If 1 in 3 between the ages of 0 to 18 have at least one adverse childhood experiences, then you're right. There's a lot of undiagnosed or unidentified uh, mental concerns that are not being addressed. And like you said, those are just the ones that were reported.
Yeah. Because and this is why it's not been just because for so long it's been taboo. For so long it's been taboo to tell somebody I'm hurting, I'm dealing with the issue, I need somebody to talk to. It's been taboo. Um and yes, in our community, but in all communities.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been like to say it, to seek treatment, to wanna figure out that thing. It's just been something like, man, you'll get over it type deal. And I want to give out another step before we keep going on, but and it's directly correlates with this whole mental health thing. We average about 48 deaths a year from suicide. 48,000 deaths a year to suicide. 48,000 people kill themselves a year. I have been on the front of a metro train when we hit a pedestrian who was trying to commit suicide. That's one of the most sickening feelings in the world. Like, we're losing people because these mental illnesses go undiagnosed. They can't talk no. They feel like they can't talk to people, um, and we're just losing people because they don't
Mm-hmm.
feel love. They don't feel like they can talk to anybody. They're hurting. Like, and we have to fix this issue. This is an important issue. We have to figure out a way to invite people to talk and release some of this pain.
And the truth of the matter is, you said it happens in all community, but I do want to talk about our community. I do.
Yeah.
And I think it's important because I think some of the most undiagnosed um, mental health issues and concerns are African American men. Right? We are so often taught in our community that um that it's taboo to go see a therapist or a psychiatrist, or you crazy, you got to go see the crazy doctor, you got to take crazy medicine. And I think we have to abandon that, not only as a culture, but as a society, right? We have to make seeking mental health treatments normal. We have to make this a normal process and be able to go up to another brother and say, hey man, it's okay. You need help. I've been there. Let's do this together. We got to get to that point because we are losing people due to mental health scares and never know they had them. Right? We
Hey,
never know.
we're losing
Go ahead.
people to pride. My top lyricist
Mhm.
said, Jake, one of my top lyricists said, pride is a devil. We're losing people to mental illness because of pride.
But do you think it's pride, or if it's something that has been ingrained in us as, hey, I have to be this strong man and not because think about this. I told somebody this. The first time I I bawled and cried as a truly bawled and cried emotionally was as an adult. I didn't get a chance to do
Yeah,
that. We cried when I got whoopings, but I didn't cry as a kid because we were taught in our community to be
but
tough. And so is it pride, or is it
it
a
but ain't that pride, right? Being taught, even if it's engraved, being taught to not cry and be this. That's ingraining in you pride. That's ingraining in you pride. Like this thing of like
yeah.
I can do it on my own. I'm a strong like this thing where I can't shake. I think that's still pride.
Mm.
It's just ingrained pride,
So
right?
I
It's generational pride.
and I'll be vulnerable at this point. There were times when like I have a very sensitive 10-year-old, right? Love him. He is the sweetest kid in the world. Hugs, kisses. But I found myself saying, "Why you crying, man? Like that ain't no reason to cry." And I realized that I was projecting that pride
Yeah,
on him. Like, we have to normalize emotion in our young boys. It's
absolutely.
okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be frustrated, right? And so often we're like, you better not cry. You no, KJ. It's and I like I said, I'm a work in progress. I'm a dad. I want to
Yeah,
build these tough young men. But I find myself, because of pride, man, there ain't no reason why you crying, man. And I think I don't want to be part of the reason why I'm pushing my kids to have these future mental health issues. I don't want to be a cause of their trauma. I don't want to be a part of their A study. You know?
yeah. No, no, I get it because I find myself sometimes with my son too doing that same thing, like saying "Don't cry," "No cry, cry," you know. But sometimes it's okay, man. Sometimes if something hurts your feelings, it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to say that hurt my feelings, right? It's okay to voice. Um, it's let's make it simple. It's okay to voice pain, right? It's okay to voice hurt. It's okay to voice that I don't feel well about a certain situation. We always can voice the opposite, right? Why can't we voice the negative side of it, right? That's
Right.
key. It's called release, right? We have to release some of that stuff. We release the joy, we release the happiness, we release everything else. We have to release the pain. We have to release the hurt,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know about
So
you, but is there ever a time where um Caleb, because KJ Elijah are this way with me, is there ever a time where where he's afraid to come talk to you or say something to you
well,
because he doesn't want to make and that's what I found myself, man. I feel like, man, I had to tell him one time in the car, hey, y'all can feel free to talk to me about anything. I'm here for y'all. I had to have that conversation with my boys because I have not been welcoming enough for them to express how they feel. You
yeah.
know?
So as you know, I got a different situation, right?
Right,
No,
right,
Caleb hasn't coming to me like that because he's still with his autism and still trying to understand his emotions, his feeling, comprehending certain situations, things like. So it's a little different for me, but I feel like it's going to come to me later and stronger because he has these certain difficulties, right? Because he
right,
doesn't know how to express certain things right now. Eventually, I think he's going to get in. He's going to come to a great understanding. But right now, he doesn't know how. So now, as a father, I have to conduct myself in a way to let him know it's okay right now, even though he still right now truly can't comprehend. Right. So
right.
it's a little bit different for
I
me in that area.
Yeah. I just don't want to become, and I gotta stop beating myself up about this and just do it. I just don't want to become the barrier that creates that. I think I keep saying it now because you're right. It is pride. I don't want to be the one that instills this sense of pride in my boys to where they can't deal with the emotional and mental uh, issues that they may be dealing with, right? For instance, KJ's ADHD, um, and he with impulsivity, and so he that's with the impulsivity he reacts and he struggles to deal with his emotion because he's very sweet, and so when he does something he's not supposed to do, he gets very sad. Like he threw an interception in it wasn't his fault Saturday. He threw an interception because the ball was slick. They had us playing at 8 a.m. in the morning, so he threw an interception, and he just started crying on the field. And 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 what I did was usually I'd be like, man, most fathers be like, man, stop crying, get back in there, and play the game. I went over to him. I said, hey, buddy, hey, it's okay. It's okay to cry and be sad he's doing an interception. It happens. Tom Brady throws interceptions. Patrick Mahomes throws interceptions. It's okay. And I had to build myself up the ability to be able to go talk to him about that because usually I'm like, man, this boy over here crying again, man, about interception. It was like, and we have to be able to approach our kids in that way, because if we're not their outlet to be able to deal with the mental difficulties, or we're not seeking out help to get to the mental difficulties, and then they're going to become a part of these statistics, and I don't know about you, but I don't want that for my kids.
Yeah, and that's another good thing about kids statistics. Like, we're gonna talk about this. Is gonna be definitely another one of our topics is social media. We're gonna definitely
Mm-hmm.
dive into what social media has become and what it's doing to our kids. But um, the kids percentages are not too far from the adult percentages when it comes to mental health, mental illness, and suicide. I won't be surprised. I
Mm-hmm.
don't got the stat in front of me right now, but I won't be surprised if the youth suicide rate is higher. Wouldn't be shocked.
100%.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's higher, right? And I wouldn't be shocked if actually the rate of mental illness is higher because I think kids are more susceptible to hold things back than adults. So that might be higher
Yeah.
too. We just don't know because, like I said, these stats are based on the ones that reported that had to go seek treatment. If we don't know, how can it be a part of the statistic, right?
Yeah. And
So
I don't need the stats for this. I am a middle school principal. I see it every day. And it's gotten worse since COVID. Our kids are hurting. Our kids are dealing with mental health on a level we have never seen before. They're hurting. And we don't have all the resources to be able to address it. We all need to come together and help these kids and get the resources in the hands of our teachers, in the hands of our schools, in the hands of our communities, in the hands of our parents, right? To be able to deal with some of the things that our kids dealing with. Because I'm telling y'all, if I had this, it has increased 100-fold since COVID. Our kids are still learning how to socialize again. They're still struggling how to share their emotions effectively. And every day we're dealing with suicidal ideations, right? Every day we're dealing with bullying or not bullying. Um, every day we're dealing with kids who are not having their mental or physical needs met, and it's increased 100-fold. I don't need a stat for that. I see it every day, and so that's why I hope this podcast today is able to resonate in the lives of you who are listening or you who are viewing, and so that we can go out and get the help not only for our adults but for our kids as well.
and if I can like, and I don't know if it's time for us to get into this, but I will, because I have a personal experience.
Mm,
So I have spent time in a mental health facility. My backstory, I can talk about why, for start from childhood till current, right?
mm-hmm.
The mental health traumas and things that I've endured and that I've never told. Hey, the evil twin persona ain't something that was um just came out of thin air. Like I personally lived my life in my youth life to be that, right? Because of mental health things and being compared to my twin brother and to want to be different and to not having a father around and to being introduced to porn and having sexual addiction to I can talk about this forever, the mental aspects that have been going on through
Mm-hmm.
my brain, right? But I spent time in the facility because I was going through a divorce. Just things happened at that time where mentally I wasn't there. I can also admit and say that I've attempted suicide, right? I've tried to take pills and kill myself, right? A lot of my family gonna hear this and they're gonna be pretty shocked because it's not something that, as a prideful man, I divorced. Now, of course, my twin brother knows. We talk about we're close and we talk a lot about it. But I spent time in that facility, and I'm telling you, the time I've been in that facility, even though I hated being there, I was able to tap into some things about me, and that's why I'm on this whole. Y'all hear me always say full disclosure, right? You're gonna hear me say that a lot during these podcasts. I was able to find something in me and figure out why certain things trigger me and make me feel the way I feel. And this is something I learned, and it's so important. I hate to get
Mm-hmm.
spiritual, but I'm gonna tap into it. Is one thing I learned about myself when it came to my mental illness and my problem is that I was trying to fill the void in my life with so many things.
Mm-hmm.
It was this hole in my life. I'm like, I gotta fill it with something. Or I gotta fill it with this girl or playing football and being the best at it or my sexual addiction or getting married and I was trying to fill this void, but what I learned is that nothing could fill the void that I felt. And the question is like, why can nothing that I was throwing into that hole fill it, right? And I'm going to get spiritual is that because nothing can fill that void but God. The void that I was missing was God in a personal life, personal relationship with God. There was a void that was missing, and I was trying to fill that void with so many other things. And what happened is when I couldn't fill the void, and things happened. it broke me down. Oh, that didn't work. I'm not worth nothing. I'm a piece of crap. Da, da, da. I wanted to cuss right there, but I caught myself. But it's, you know what I mean? Like you hate yourself and you feel down and you get in this woe is me and you get this pride for like I don't want to talk to nobody. But then you go back to keep trying to fill that void and nothing works. And every time that fails, oh, you go back, you sink deeper and you sink deeper and you sink deeper and you deeper until you hit rock bottom. And that's when I hit rock bottom. I had took the pills
Mm-hmm.
one time. I hit a rock bottom. But that was prior to me going to the facility. But going to the facility, man, it was people there that were regular people. You think
Mm-hmm.
it's like a crazy house. Regular people that just got certain mental problems that they're battling and dealing with. Now there was another section in the facility where it was people that were
You want for the
more
more
that
severe.
yeah that were
Yeah.
harmed themselves and things like that. But where I was at, it was just people that had real personal problems, family problems, relational problems, social problems that they just needed help to overcome. And it was just enlightening to see people. And man, I probably was the oldest person in the facility. The younger people, to see the younger people in there that battle with this and cases severe than mine, bro, it was mind boggling, bro. It was enlightening. So
So I'm glad, and I'm glad we jumped into this the personal piece. I'm glad you shared that. I would just want to say thank you for being vulnerable, because your story is going to change, affect somebody's life and change somebody's life and send them on a different trajectory. Just like you said, your evil twin persona, and that's why I'm glad. That's why I love this podcast, because it is two views, right?
yeah,
And just like you said that your persona of the evil twin was a I want to say, tell me if I'm wrong, but a concoction or something that you created and developed to
absolutely.
feel to feel void. So was the good twin, right? Because and so and also full transparency, um, I was the kid who had to be contrary to Kevin and always been in competition with Kevin. Um, but on top of that, it was layers for me, right? And I want to help everybody understand that this thing has layers, because on top of that, I had to get the good grades, right? I had to be the one in class who had the best scores. I had to be the one that was achieving. I had to be the one that was connected. Um, and people's like, man, Keith got good. It was I was straight A student in middle school, because it was I felt like that was a part of my personality. It wasn't something that I wanted. I wasn't doing it to necessarily learn. I was doing it because I made it a component of who I am and my personality, which is completely wrong if you think about that. On top of that, that needing to be the smartest, the needing to be successful, the needing to know it all, the needing to be the person who could fix anything and create anything and develop anything. I also had a fear, and I had a fear of loneliness. I had a fear of not being accepted. I had a fear of not being connected, right? And so you got the competition, the needing to be number one, the fear of loneliness, right? The fear of not being connected, the fear of the fear of losing everything, right? And so what I also realize is when we talk about mental health is that those are truly pieces of that of that affect us mentally as well. So if you really want to be want me to be truthful, my ACE study is probably more higher than an 8, right? But on top of that, what I never understood was I thought part of my intelligence, Kevin, was that I have this mind that never cuts off, right? I have this mind to where I'm always thinking, to where sometimes I can't sleep because my mind's always going and thinking about how to make something better or greater. Even one day, my boss, I created this disciplinary system through Google Docs, and he was like, "Man, it'd be great if it could do this." And guess what I did? I stayed up till 2 o'clock and I made it do that.
I did
But
the
when I
same thing.
realized, and but I didn't realize this though. I realized that that is just a projection of my mental issue, which is I have generalized anxiety disorder. I
Yeah,
have anxiety. It is a component. Sometimes we mask our mental health issues with that that this is just a good people like, man, your mind never cut off. That's a good thing. Like you just always thinking and thinking. Guess what? It's a bad thing too. It's a bad thing too, that thing that crippled me. And so you got the generalized anxiety that was never diagnosed until I was 28, right? That was never diagnosed till I was 28, on top of all those other layers. And then the biggest layer for me that also affected my mental trauma is the daddy issues that you brought up. Because it wasn't until I decided to deal with each of those levels. So I started peeling it away, that I started to get down to the root of it. Hey, you have to get some help. And it is okay to say, I need help. And I wish more people would do it.
absolutely. Look how long it took us to do it, right? Look how long it took for us to say
Yep.
we need help, right? We in our 30s, right? We need to. This has to start at a level with these younger kids, man. And I, like we said in our last
Mm-hmm.
pod, we did mentor. We saw kids go through some crap, right? I could talk about Marquise Harrison. We lost him. He
Love
stole a
you, brother.
car and got in an accident, man, and and killed somebody. And what would get him to the point to where he would take drugs, steal a car, go on a high speed chase, and run into somebody and kill him? You can't tell me his family life was the best, right? We know it wasn't, right? We know he had certain struggles and certain issues. If we as people that are in the lives of some of these younger kids can see those things and try to invite kids to open up to us and share that with us, man, we can save some of these kids' lives now, man, like early. We can stop some of this stuff, some of this violence, some of this murder and killing and suicide and all these things that's happening in our community. We can stop it, man. If we allow ourselves, especially as men, to be vulnerable enough to allow kids to be vulnerable enough to come out to talk to us. But like I just said, we have to be vulnerable enough to allow it as adults to say,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I see something going on here, man. Like, is something going on?" And they might not open up immediately. They might not say, "Yes, yeah, I'm something's going on at home, blah blah blah," or "I'm bad." It might take a few times you ask them. I see you. I see your mind working. I see you in the funk. I see like if you ever need to talk, I'm here, man. I love you. I'm here. And try to pump that confidence in that love into that kid, man. But we have to try something, right? Something.
Yeah. And you're right though, man. We got, like I said, like I said, being an educator, I see it every day, man. And we got to reach these kids. But I think, Kev, man, we so vulnerable at the top, and that's why it's going to be so difficult to reach a kid. And that's why I think this podcast is truly important. We at the top, adults, we have to identify our mental issues. We have to identify our deficiencies and being able to acknowledge and identify mental issues so that we can be that support for the younger ones, right? It's hard for me. I just think about how more effective I could have been at Bloomington and urban prep. Well, but the first half of my time at urban prep, had I already started the process to deal with my mental trauma, right?
Yeah.
I've never dealt with that. I was a great, and I would say I mentored, and I did my best to mentor kids during that time. But I think I was my most effective on the second half of my time at urban prep, where I was dealing with those conflicts. We have to be willing to say, I need help, right? And if you don't know if you need help, seek out support. There's several tests. There's certain, you can go, just go. schedule an appointment with a therapist. Say, hey, this is going on in my life, because there's some things that happen in our lives that we don't realize are a piece of that trauma or that mental issue that we're having. Like for me, like I said, my I never knew that my mind never cutting off was a part of my generalized anxiety. So I never knew that,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of people deal with anxiety, right? A ton of people deal with anxiety and never know about it. I guarantee over half of the people who are watching this podcast deal with anxiety in some form or fashion, and it has never been treated or acknowledged. And we have to be willing to go get that support, and get that help so that we can be a support to the younger generation.
And something you said that was key, and we got to bring it up. We got to discuss it. You said therapy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's a taboo word. Ooh, like Mufasa. Say it again. Therapy. Hey, therapy is so taboo, but it's one of, if the most important things, if not the most important things in life. To go
Yeah,
talk to somebody about what you're dealing with and to get it out. Um, we can't be afraid to do that. We can't. I think it's real. I think people should go see a therapist. All people should see a therapist at least once a month, minimum. Right.
I agree. I agree.
Um, talk to somebody. And open up, man, because it's something about making yourself vulnerable, man, to somebody like I'm valid. It's something about getting it out. Like we bottle so much in, man. It's like if you shake up a Sprite, man, and if you keep the lid on, right? If you keep the lid on and you squeeze that bottle, you feel how tight that bottle is. Like that bottle is so tight, man. It's like you get just like it's on, but and that's how a lot of us are in our daily lives, man. We're like that shaking on Sprite bottle. So when somebody come try to open us up, a relationship. So somebody come try to open us up and get us to open up, what we do? Spill everywhere. We ruin everything. We ruin relationship. We ruin people around us, right?
That got to be our next
But
topic.
yeah, but one thing about that Sprite bottle, man, if anybody know anything about it, if it's shaking up, what do? You slowly twist that
You
cap and put
you
it back
release it.
on, and release it and put it back on, and you keep doing it slowly. That's therapy. That's therapy. Slowly releasing that cap, letting that pressure out of that bottle, letting that you release that negativity, that illness, that what you battle with, slowly releasing it out until we can screw the cap off and we can be satisfied with our life. Somebody can take a drink of our life in a relationship or people around it and they're satisfied by it. They get their little burn, a little Sprite give you when you drink it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what therapy is, man. That's slowly twisting in that bottle.
And I wish we had more therapy in our school systems. And I wish we had more therapy more readily available in our communities. I got a quick story about. I'm glad you talked about the pressure, because I'm gonna bring up something in high school that happened, which speaks to that. One of my favorite coaches of all time, Coach O'Day, right? We were at practice one time, junior high school, and I was at linebacker. And my boy Nutty, what's up, Marco? Um, he was playing guard. He came out, and I still remember this, Nutty. It was a pass play. You came out to block me. I'll never forget this, right? And so they threw the ball. I read the play, came in, threw the ball right over my head. Coach O'Day let me have it. Oh, he let me have it. And I was like, Coach, Nutty came out to block me. I felt I read run, and by the time I realized it's too late, the ball's gonna. Yeah, he kept yelling at me. And so what I do? You remember what I did?
You walked
I
off, I
walked off the
think.
field. I walked off the
Yeah.
field. Didn't say nothing. Walked off. Dorian came in, took over, and guess what? I didn't start that game. Right? Didn't start that next game. I think it was it Rich Woods maybe? Yeah, but I didn't start that next game because coach was like you walked off the field. You want to listen to me, Kevin? A year later, I got into an incident at school, right? And Coach O'Day at this time was the acting. I don't know if he was acting dean. Remember he's acting dean for that short amount of time.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And he brought me in the office when all this. I ain't gonna say what situation happened, but he brought me in the office, and guess what? That Sprite had been shaking up for an entire year.
Yeah.
And I had and I this ain't on culture day. This is kind of I was a kid, but this is kind of on me, right? That Sprite had been shaking for a whole year, and I never released that pressure, right? And so when he brought me in the office to talk to me about the situation, I let him have it. But guess what I talked about? I didn't talk about the situation while I was in his office. I talked about what happened a year before. A year before, when he was yelling at me on the field about
Yeah.
that play. And it was because I had a character issue and a character flaw that was a part of the mental health and the mental trauma that I was dealing with, and I never addressed it. Right? I never addressed it, and so it exploded in that office. And the great thing, I still got to go to prom. You know, Coach, today I love you. You hooked me up. You know, well, I probably shouldn't have been to go to prom. Should have been suspended longer. Uh, but I had let that build up, man, and I just realized like there was no avenues for me to address those issues inside of me, man. I can't even think
Yeah.
of where I would have went to get that support. You know?
And yeah, I mean, we have school counselors, right, and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I feel like they did a great job. But we were never pushed to our school counselor for those issues. No, really, probably weren't pushed to our school counselor for those issues because we never released it. We never let anybody know that that was an issue in order to go to a
Right.
counselor to
Right. It's
to
on
get that
us.
release,
Right.
right? Yeah,
Right. And we were never taught that. Like we were never taught like, hey, you got to like we I think we had the best Miss Fitz was the best counselor in the world, in my opinion. I think we
absolutely.
had the best counselor of all time. But I don't think we were trained to we didn't have the tools. We just didn't have the tools. And I want this podcast I want you people who watching this to know that we want you to have the tools and for you to know it's okay to say I need to talk to somebody. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. I talk to somebody every 2 weeks. Like it's okay. And sometimes I'm having a man, I'm doing great. I just want to talk to. It's going great. I just need to share with somebody what's going great in my life, and that's
Yep.
okay. That's okay. We just didn't have the tools, and there's so many of us who are connected to. If you're connected to this podcast, and everybody's connected to you, there are so many of us. You may be like, oh, this don't apply to me. Yes, it does. I bet it does in some way, form, or fashion. I bet it does.
Let the
But we've
pride
never
go.
been trained. Let the pride go, and we've never been uh, trained to acknowledge it and to see it, and that's okay. That's what we're trying to do now. So we're trying to help you identify it and get the support because it can no longer be a taboo in our community moving forward if we want to see change and progress in our community.
Yeah, man. And if there's something that you feel hits you that's close to home, right? Reach out to us, man. Reach out to somebody in your community. Reach out to somebody that can put you in the right position to get help. Just we want you to seek it, right? It could be for the most minimum thing you think is minimum, but or when you say it, it might be minimum to some people, but there's like it's like an iceberg, right? There's just a surface thing, right? There's a lot of other deep rooted issues under that needs to get uprooted in order for you to live in peace and live in without these illness and these battles. But seek help. Like I said, we're available. If we can get you in the right place and lead you to the right direction, we will. Whatever resource we need to help you out and get you to, we'll try to do. But just open up about it, be real about it, be vulnerable about it. Let the pride go. Drop it to the side, man. Drop that weight, man. Cast that burden off you, man. You don't need to carry that. You don't need to carry that, right? So,
And if you and we want, and if it is a burden that's going to take you a while to get off, we want to carry it with you. So we'll drop our email down if you need to reach out and say, "Man, I'm really struggling with this. I need some guidance on where to go." We're not professionals in that field, but we know how to get a hold of the support that you'll need to do that. If you're
yeah,
in dire, I think we need to drop the national hotline for suicide prevention as well. Because if
Absolutely.
you're in a serious situation, as you you're watching this podcast, we want to get you immediate help. So we'll make sure that information is available to you as well, because we want to change the direction of this epidemic, right? This mental health epidemic that is in our community, and uh, and that's how we're gonna do it, by being there, standing with one another, standing there, supporting one another. And y'all got friends in us, man. We've been there. I think some of you probably maybe think, oh man, I'm in a worse situation with them, but man, we are here to support you, and get you the help you need. Just like Kevin said, drop that pride. We had to, and we don't want it to take you um any longer than by the end of this podcast to make the decision to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. Yeah, man. That's it, man. Another, solid go at it, man. Two
Mm-hmm.
views, two different understandings, but all linked and united for a purpose of saving lives from this mental health epidemic. We battle, and I don't want to call it epidemic because mental health is going to be a thing that's going to be around for a long time. It's not going anywhere, but we just got to be diligent about making sure it's addressed right. So yeah,
Can't love others until you love yourself first.
trying to tell you. All right, man. Yeah. So ready to get up out of here, man. This Two Views podcast, KBZ, K Feezy. You know, we here for you.
Yeah, we love you.